Konnichiwa, Nihon Cricket Pod to yokoso. Hello and welcome to the Japan Cricket Podcast. My name's Alan Kerr and I'm your host. And on today's episode, I welcome Dhugal Bedingfield to discuss the brand new JCL T20. Firstly, a quick roundup of what's been going on in the Japan Cricket League Division 1. Round 8 wrapped up last week with half the games being lost to bad weather, meaning gains for the 3 teams that did make it onto the park and come out on top. Sano Cricket Club probably had the biggest smiles, and they put away the 2021 champions, the Chiba Sharks, thanks to a maiden century from the JCA's new high performance coordinator and a future guest on this podcast, Ardeen Ruhode. The Sharks posted 203 for 8 with 45 from Dhugal Bedingfield, the top score, and 6 wickets shared between Kazumasa Hiratsuka and Makoto Taniyama. However, Ruhode's 123 was made mostly in a 117-run partnership with Reo Sakurano, which broke the Sharks' resistance. Although both fell before the job was done, Sano still got over the line with 5 wickets in hand and early enough to earn a bonus point. The other form team still in the running for the playoffs are the Tokyo Falcons, who put away the Tokyo Wombats thanks to half-centuries from Sarfraz Petkar and Sanket Pandhari. That after Richie Bracefield had made 81 to help the Wombats post a decent 235 for 7 in an innings reduced to 35 overs. The Falcons knocked that total off with 5.4 overs and 4 wickets to spare. In the final completed match of the round, the Tigers maintained their unbeaten run by knocking over the Wyverns, which deals a blow to their playoff hopes. Batting first, the Tigers managed 176 all out thanks to 4 for 33 from Tomonoshin Oki, and then spinners Piyush Kumbhare and Sabaris Ravichandran strangled the chase by taking 5 for 52 between them in almost 16 overs as they bowled Wyverns out for 148 to win by 28 runs. If you'd like to check out the latest results from Division 1 or any of the other comps going on, please do download the Japan Cricket app from whichever store you use and have a browse around. And now it's time to welcome Dhugal. Okay, welcome to another episode of the Japan Cricket Podcast. I'm joined once again by Japan Cricket Association Community Cricket Manager, Dhugal Bedingfield. Hello, Dukes. How are you?
Very good, thanks, Alan. Great to be here again on your wonderful podcast.
Yeah, welcome back. It's been a few weeks, been a few episodes between drinks. How are you, mate? What's been going on?
Oh, I'm right in the middle of another great cricket season.
Hot.
It's been hot. There's been a heat wave up in Sano. So doing my best to avoid the heat and if necessary embrace it. I played a game of cricket the other day. It was about I reckon it was about 49 degrees.
I think by the letter of the law you should have been off the field by then, shouldn't you?
It felt like 49 anyway.
Didn't you tell me that you went and submerged yourself in the river shortly after being dismissed?
Yeah, I was dismissed. I batted for a little bit longer than I usually do. And yeah, there's a nearby river, and I just went and submerged myself for about 10 minutes. Got back out, and I was fine.
Felt a lot better after.
Recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the reason you're here is to talk about a new competition that we're rolling out this year. It's very exciting, the JCL T20. So my first question is, could we not come up with a better name?
I like the name. It's simple. 3 letters, 4 letters and 2 digits. JCL T20 rolls off the tongue.
That's what it says in the tin. So yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, the way I guess world cricket's go was a little bit more of a focus on the short formats, the 3-hour T20 game. We mentioned the heat in August. August is not a great time to play 40-over cricket, really. So we've decided to schedule 2020 cricket during the month of August, and that's what the JCL T20 is. Also provides a great opportunity for some of our elites national team players to get some good T20 match practice in against quality opposition leading into the World Cup qualifiers that we're going to be hosting in October.
Absolutely. And I guess the other thing with that is the JCL in itself is all about building strong clubs, right? And, we've got 3 divisions with what? I'm going to get this wrong now. 29, 30, 32 teams this year?
Yeah, we're at 31.
31.
Exact.
Good. You should know that.
I should.
So 31 teams, but we've got what? 15, 16 clubs?
Yeah, 16 clubs now.
16 clubs represented. So the process of creating this competition was to make sure that all of those clubs have a T20 team, right? Because those are supposed to be the strongest clubs in Japan that are, there's strict regulations to get into the Japan Cricket League, aren't there? So these clubs are helping develop cricket in their region. Some of them have women's teams. They've all got their own constitution. They're undergoing health checks occasionally. And we want to see them playing T20 cricket as well. We want to see the best players out against each other with 60 plus teams in the Japan Cup.
Yeah.
That tends to dilute the competition a little bit. And of course, the JPL is just a one weekend event. So this is an opportunity to get the talent all back concentrated again. So talk us through the format. We've got 16 teams, but we haven't quite got all 16 clubs represented, have we?
No, there are 3 clubs that declined to take part this time around, giving themselves a little probably mid-season break rather than pick the JCL T20. So we're missing, I think, Adore, KO, and all that's also. But the KO that we've invited 3 guest clubs to enter teams who are very keen to take part in it. So we welcome 3 clubs: Tokyo Rhinos, Serendip, and the Tokyo Tornadoes as guests into the JCL T20 for this year. All quite strong clubs with a good end base. So I'm sure they'll give a good account of themselves.
And those are all clubs that have ambitions of joining the JCL anyway, right?
I would expect so, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, good to have those in. So then with 16 teams, it makes it an easy format, and we've gone with 4 groups of 4. Is that right?
Yeah, it works well, doesn't it? 4, simple mathematics.
It's like the old European Championships before they messed it up. So we've got 4x4, and it'll be everyone playing everyone in their group, and the top 2 go through.
Correct.
Easy. And then we'll have a quarterfinals day and a finals day.
Yeah, that quarterfinals day is going to be massive.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big day of cricket that.
And that is scheduled in for Saturday, the 3rd of September.
Yeah.
A date for everyone's diaries. It'll be on the stream. And yeah, it's a good day to come up to the ground and have a look at what's going on.
Yeah, if you did want to come up and watch some cricket that day, you'd see an 8 pretty good team, playing 2020 cricket. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, how did you go about sorting out the groups and doing the draw and everything like that? Because, the JCL has been 40 over cricket for however long, 15 years.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams have Japan Cup rankings, but not all of them. So, I'm assuming when you were drawing the groups, you had a seeding pot.
Yeah, that's right. So they're supposed to be pretty even groups in theory. So we basically took some Japan Cup rankings, Japan Cup performances for last year, and mixed it in with some JCL results, performances from last year as well as this year. And yeah, they're supposedly 4 fairly even groups. People might argue with that, but at the end of the day, you've got to beat the team you're up against. Enough games to make it through quarters.
So let's run through the group, shall we?
Sure.
So Group A, first name out of the pot was your own Chiba Sharks. Then you got the Alpha Quashers of Yokohama, your Sano Cricket Club, and the Tokyo Rhinos.
Yeah.
So may as well start at home.
Is that the group of death? There's always a group of death.
It doesn't look great, I got to say. Yeah, that does look probably on paper the toughest group. So what's going on with your mob this year?
Oh, the Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been pretty inconsistent, especially with the bat. Our top 6 hasn't quite clicked yet. So yeah.
Do you think a return to the T20 will spark revival? Seemed to work for you last year.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We plan to go out there and win every game, but it just doesn't quite happen this year.
Are you going to be taking the captaincy reins in these games?
I'm
going to take the back seat and let someone else do it?
Yeah, let's let one of the younger take the reins for that, I'd say.
Yeah, the game is being played in August. It's your one chance for a holiday.
Well, I'm sure I'll play during the game.
Now, the Quashers are usually a pretty good T20 side. So there'll be certainly a team competing pretty hard in that group, and I reckon they'll be targeting this tournament. They're actually having a pretty decent season this year. They're up in, I think they're around the top 4 somewhere in the JCL.
They're hanging in there.
So yeah, they're producing, and I think they'll be a team that will benefit from having their best T20 players out there. I think they do. They're a big club, and I think they've lost a few of their Japan Cup players to other Japan Cup teams. So I suspect that they'll be quite strong. And Sano Cricket Club, certainly, their Japan Cup team is more of a development team, and they play in Division 2 of the North Kanto competition. But their JCL team is full of national squad members and likely to provide some stiff competition, you think?
Yeah, well, that Ceylon team should be doing well. They've really underachieved a little bit this season, but that being the case, they're do the top 4 of the JCL anyway. So yeah, they're pretty strong, I'd say.
And what can you tell us about Tokyo Rhinos, one of the guest teams?
They did quite well in the Japan Cup recently. I think they're ranked inside the top 10. And also, so yeah, quite strong group. And they almost made it through the Japan Cup finals last year. So I think a chance for an upset, perhaps.
Okay, so a strong group. Who's your pick then? Who's going through?
I can't. My own team's in there. I can't give you a prediction. I told you this last night. You tell me.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Quashers and Sano to go through from that group, I'm afraid.
Oh,
I think on current form, you guys might struggle.
We'll just use that as motivation then.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. Now, Group B. If Group A is a group of death, what do we call Group B? We've got Max, Tokyo Falcons, Rising Stars, and the Tokyo Tornadoes.
Yeah, so there's 3 clubs there that you might say have been a little bit off the boil this year, but very, very strong from last year. That we all know about the Max Cricket Club.
Just 1 win in 7 so far at the time of recording.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, battling, aren't they? Do you think that's age is kicking in on some of those boys, the war horses, but come T20 time, I think they might just be enjoy the new lease of life. Max don't play T20 cricket, right? So
that's right. We seem to see how they go with big Hanif.
Hanif's open
batting.
Yeah, absolutely. The Falcons haven't quite matched their performances from last year, but still a dangerous outfit.
Yeah. And still very, very dangerous in the T20 format as well, with and Safra's Hector lurking around number 4 spot. They'll be pretty hard to beat in that group, I'd say.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Rising Stars, again, struggling a little this year. Haven't got a win, I don't think, in the JCL at the time of recording. And the Tokyo Tornadoes, I don't know much about those guys.
Well, we expect those to be the mystery team, aren't they, in that group? How are they going to go? They've entered 2 teams in the North Kanto region of the Japan Cup, so depth there. I don't know how they're going to go. I'd be surprised if they make it through the quarters, but you never know.
Yeah, you'd be looking at Max and Falcons, who are the first 2 teams at the pot, wouldn't you? I think with Max, tell me, do you have any idea what happened to Ali Raza? To that guy?
I don't know, mate.
Because he used to very much enjoy playing short format cricket and had a season a couple of years ago playing in 40 over stuff. And yeah, seems to have disappeared off the radar. But I'm sure Max would be pretty keen to wheel him out again if they can.
They've had a number of very good players represent that cricket club. But as I said in the preseason podcast, how many of them are proud to wear the shirt these days?
How many of them are bowlers? Group C. Group C is an interesting one. You got the Wyverns, who are a traditional force in T20 cricket.
You're just the club that fights to the death in T20 cricket, don't they?
Don't they just? You got the Men in Blue, the Kawasaki Knight Riders, and the Tokyo Titans. So yeah, an interesting group, this one. Plenty of players among all those teams who could do a bit of damage. And that's the group that all 4 of those are JCL clubs, right?
Is this the real group of death?
Maybe. Maybe. Men in Blue going very well this year.
Yeah, they're having a good season. Yeah.
as predicted in the preview podcast.
The 20 over game as well. So you'd probably expect them to go through, I would say. Although a couple of Knight Riders are probably the dark horse in that group. I wouldn't rule them out.
My understanding is that one of Wyvern's key batters, Mr. Shogo Kimura, the Big Show, is going to be away for the first few rounds as well. I think he's over in Sri Lanka.
Well, when does he return?
The Sri Lankan Premier League is due to end on the 21st, 22nd, I think, of September, of August. So I think he might well miss their first 3 matches, which is the whole group stage.
Wow.
Depending on the fixtures. Let me have a look at the fixtures. Hold on. I do have them in front of me.
This is a man in form. I'm just looking at his JCL stats. 361 runs at an average of 90, striking at 97. It's not a bad start.
He's going all right. So he'd missed their first 2 games, but he would be back for the crunch match against the Rhinos, by the looks of things. So yeah, interesting. But they got plenty of other talented players in that team. KKR, a team that have ambitions, and they'll be seeing this as a chance to really prove that they're worth a place in the JCL, aren't they? They're a new club into the league, into the competition this year, along with the Titans, the other new club. So interesting, they both wound up in the same group here, and certainly the Knight Riders seem to be going pretty well in Division 2.
Yeah, they're up towards the top of the table in Division 2. We know that the standard of Division 2 has risen in recent years as well. So that'd be a sneaky chance to just cause an upset and go through the quarterfinal. But they'd have to play well. They'd have to be at their best.
Yeah, one to keep an eye on. Then Group D is an interesting one as well. You've got the Tigers, who, again, at the time of recording, are unbeaten. And you've got the Tokyo Rangers, who at the time of recording are unbeaten in the JCL.
2 form teams there, certainly.
Yeah, so that could be pretty explosive when those two come together. And then you've got Paddy Foley's and Serendip. Paddy's had a decent start to the season, but have tailed off quite dramatically in the last few weeks. And Serendip are a club who've been around for quite a long time in Japan Cup.
Yeah, just having a bit of a rebuild now. Serendip, a club with a long history, but over the last couple of years, they've expanded a little. Now entering 2 teams in the Japan Cup in West Continental as well. Really developed their player base. So be interesting to see what they can do.
So then we mentioned the quarterfinals day. That will be all at the SICG on the 3rd of September.
Yeah.
So teams are playing 1 match a day, and we've got games in the morning and the afternoon throughout the whole competition. The bulk of games taking place in SICG 1, which of course gives us the opportunity for some live streaming. And I believe you set it up so that every team will be streamed at least once. Is that right?
Yeah, so during the group stage, we've got every team at least 1 game at the SICG. So should be able to tune in and watch the team in action at some point during the round stage. And of course, once we get on day, if your team is lucky enough to make it there, the live streaming will definitely be in action.
Yeah, it's an exciting opportunity to watch some players we might not get to see a lot of, especially these clubs who are new and the clubs who are down in Division 2 or Division 3. They might get these T20 specialists who come into their own suddenly. Might not be that well known amongst the Japan cricket community. So, chance for new heroes to be made, Dougal. You're excited about that?
Yeah.
How could you not be? So yeah, 3rd of September, quarterfinal day, and then a bit of a gap before finals day, the 1st of October. And that'll be 2 semi-finals in the morning, and then just a final at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, and that leads nicely into hopefully some international matches that will be the Japan national team playing in October.
So this is a competition you think is going to be here to stay? Or is it very much on a trial basis?
I think it'll be here to stay. we'll see how it goes this year. But there seems to be some pretty good buy-in from most of the clubs anyway. Most of those 16 clubs are very, very keen to sign up straight away.
Yeah, it's exciting. And
it might prove to be a good little intermission in that slump.
Definitely. And I think, with teams playing in the morning and then either playing in the morning or in the afternoon, with the live stream happening, I think it gives quite a good opportunity for people to put themselves forward as commentators, perhaps, start branching out, getting some other skills on.
So we're going to be able to do some guest commentators, is that what
I hope so. I mean, perhaps not in the group stages, but certainly by quarterfinals day and finals day, I think commentary is going to be on. So anyone interested in that, reach out, let us know. Do you want to, get your silky smooth tones heard across the airwaves?
Who are some of the commentators or potential commentators within the Japan cricket community? We'll hope to hear on the microphone.
Cool. There's a few. Straight off the bat, I think Abhi Dewan is someone who would be primed and ready to come on and wax lyrical.
You'd be able to control him. It's pretty excitable.
He is pretty excitable, but that's T20 cricket.
Okay.
We like excitable, right?
Right.
I think other people I would like to have in the commentary box.
A serious thought, I don't
Well, I think it deserves it, doesn't it? I think Sabaris Ravichandran. I'd like to get some of the national team boys in there.
Okay.
I think these guys are the ones supposed to be setting the standards.
Yeah.
So let's hear what they've got to say.
Yeah.
Let's test their knowledge of the game.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's an opportunity to hear from them. Yourself, Dukes? Who would you be nominating as guest commentator? Because it's set in stone now. Once you say it, they've got to do it, right?
Once I say it, I could go. One of the club managers at my club, Anton Lloyd Reeves, would have the kind of voice.
Got the voice.
He's got the voice for it.
Yeah, we haven't seen Anton for a while.
No.
Be a good opportunity for him to get himself up here.
Yeah.
Just have to make sure he doesn't spend the whole time trying to recruit for the cheaper Sharks.
Yeah.
Another one who might be an option is Alex Patmore and Richie Bracefield, since their Wombats team are involved. These are two guys who got plenty to say. So, yeah, perhaps get them on the mic. Cool. Thanks, Dukes. Short and sweet. Not much else to go on.
You looking forward to this song?
Very much so. Unfortunately,
what's your tip?
Unfortunately, I'm going to miss the first round, but I'm back by the second. Back by August the 20th to see those games. So I should be able to watch plenty of it. My tip?
Yeah, so which two teams are going to make the final?
I am going to go for the Tigers to make the final. And I think they're going to beat Max. I think Max are going to come out and go hard, and they're going to come off. Yourself?
I'll go a little bit different. I'll take the Wyverns to beat the Falcons in the final.
Wyverns to beat the Falcons. Interesting. So we traditionally thought that the Rangers would be more of a T20 outfit, and they're flying in the 40 overcom, and we've just ignored them completely. Poor guys. Gonna get calls.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say Tigers Rangers, but they're in the same group, so they could still meet in the final. That's entirely possible. All right. Thanks, Dukes. Good to chat. Good luck with it. We'll see you again soon.
Pleasure.
Bye now. That concludes this episode of the Japan Cricket Podcast. The JCL T20 starts this Saturday, the 13th of August. So be sure to check that out. It'll be going on over the next few weekends. And as we mentioned in the chat, the 3rd of September will be the quarterfinals day, and the finals day is October 1st. So do follow that competition. If you do have any thoughts or feedback on the show, do feel free to comment on the Instagram page or on wherever you download your podcasts. As always, thanks to BRB Monday for the musical accompaniment. And I will be back next week with a really special guest. So do make sure you tell your friends about the pod, because the next episode is going to be a good one, I promise. Thanks, and arigatou gozaimashita.